we have it up in the top right side. It is indeed going to be KeeN showing his true colors in that last game. His timing was great, and then the follow-up was even better. Was a little dicey there, not having that siege mode, as Apollo was mentioning. But down the bottom right side as well, it is going to be VortiX.
And Intoon Valley here is traditionally a macro-focused map, of course, very defensive for both players if they want to. VortiX, though, upon playing this map, could go for a 2-base all-in. Ro16, bailing is something he's not very afraid of doing, especially against Terran players here. I've seen it many, many times in the European Cups and tournaments where a Terran player will go, all right, great, Intoon Valley, let's go 3 command centers, double engineering base, skip the units, and then just die to a Roach bailing attack. So could be something on the cards here for VortiX.
Yeah, and I mean, we did see KeeN in the previous games not go super risky like that, but it can also be tempting after you win a game here to be like, well, okay, I beat him with that, so now I can just kind of fall back and play more casually, but you can never, ever do that in a series at all, by any means, especially against a player like VortiX, who has shown us that he knows how to beat Terran here, and his multitasking was great in game number 1, is going to have to channel that here in game number 2. We do see a pretty standard wall-in going to be going down for KeeN right now, but any predictions on how this can play out based on the fact that they spawned on the same side of the map?
If it does go to a traditional game, it'll go a very late game in these positions, because basically nobody can really do a big attack if they do play both safe. Therefore, the 4th base is taken very early from Zerg, therefore they can get to the hive faster, and then once that happens, they get to the Ultralist play. So I don't think the mid game will be too much. Maybe, again, VortiX will try the mid game Mutalist. He does like it. It can pick up a lot of advantages through bringing down turrets, through bringing down SCV lines, and so on. VortiX does go in with a drone, though. Does see once again 1 barracks, is now checking. I thought this would be the case in this map. Actually checking around the bottom side, and will most likely wait until that command center goes down before he gets the full confirmation on, is it a 2 racks potentially again, or 1 barracks command center.
I also love where this drone is placed. I mean, he knows the exact second that command center is going down. He moved up there literally 1 or 2 seconds after it went down, so he knows exactly what's going on in this game. It's actually physically impossible for KeeN to have another barracks on the field right now, and so he's going to be able to return on home safely, get that drone back to work. But we were mentioning before that he likes to drone scout every single game. That's exactly what we're seeing here. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him in the last game because he didn't spot that, the 2 racks going on. But for now, it does look like right now the drone going to go ahead, just saturate that base here. Looks like pretty standard stuff here. Double gas on the way. And is it looking like, you know, typical follow-up here for KeeN?
Yeah, just double gas, going straight up to the wreck to Hellion. Most likely Banshee again, but the other branches to use the double gas instead of Banshee, Cloak Banshee that is, he can skip the Cloak and go double Engineering Bay and use that 200 gas for 1-1 instead, or he can go ahead and get tanks out pretty fast too. Pretty good on a map like this, but VortiX is actually going double Extractor here. And this is actually relatively early. It's before the 3rd and 4th Queen, which is when it's really early. So we could be seeing pretty fast layer attack, option number 1, or option number 2, something like a Roach Baneling attack.
And I definitely think that, you know, in a best-of-5 series, you need different types of builds, especially if you're going against a player that you don't know too much about. You don't know what their biggest weakness is. Are they weaker in the late game or in the earlier game? We do have a bunker going down for KeeN. I always love this defensive positioning here that Terran players have started to utilize. You can fall back to close to that bunker, keep your SCVs over there. It's going to be relatively safe. Also very difficult to get a complete surround on that bunker because it's protected by minerals on 2 different sides here. We do have the Roach Warren on the way here right now, and the SCV definitely cannot get in there. Gets cleaned up right now. But what exactly is this that VortiX is doing? Is he looking for an extreme specific timing right now?
Yeah, it looks like a Roach bailing all in off 2 base potentially here, but KeeN actually got up to the ramp and he only saw 1 queen. At that stage, at that scouting time, should have seen another queen. That should have been creep spreading early on. So already adds on a supply depot to help protect that bunker. And I wouldn't be surprised if he added a tech lab to maybe to the barracks to build marauders early on. But one thing is for sure, these Hellions are going to be absolutely trying to scout to know and get the confirmation if this is happening. Because right now it's only a feeling for KeeN. Oh, he throws down a 3rd command center. Maybe he didn't get the hinge. Maybe he didn't get it. Because I thought that maybe he could tell that this is happening. But with the 3rd command center going down, this is not the reaction he would do if he had the feeling that this was coming.
And coming it is right now. 3 Roaches, Zergling speed on the way. Baneling Nest going to be done here soon. Overlord's perfectly timed there as well for an attack just like this. So we should be seeing a lot of units on the way. I mean, the saturation is about as good as you can get in these spots. Notice there's no extra gas at the expansions right now. So this is going to be, I would assume, a pretty short game here. It's going to come down to can KeeN defend this. He does drop down the factory on the tech lab there. Siege mode on the way, so Siege Tank's got to be good versus the roaches here, but at the same time that wall in is looking a bit fragile because the barracks is just now going to be going down here, and the Hellions out in the center of the map. They don't quite know what's going on. They may spot the Banelings though, and it looks like yes they will. Those Banelings immediately get spotted. He has to cancel all of those, and that is a huge loss for this timing.
Siege Tech is so far away. It's another 40 seconds away. And can these Hellions buy enough time, though? Because if they can, then things can get really good if Siege Tech is ready. But right now, how is KeeN going to play this out? Remember, he has 3 command centers behind this. So if this damage isn't dealt and the game is over by VortiX, then it's basically just GG. He has to do and kill KeeN.
He is going to attempt just that. Like we mentioned, the SCVs can hide behind that bunker, but Siege mode just seconds away from being done right now. And down goes the bunker, but that's okay. It's already bought the time he needs. He's got a siege up in the perfect spot. I can only imagine. Here comes the Banelings, so they're going to be able to bust down that depot. However, that siege tank relatively protected here. This is a lot of roaches getting in there. Where's the reinforcements? Not that many on the way. VortiX's macro slipping a bit here. Oh, yes, he does have 12 lings on the way, but he's completely surrounded. Down goes the bunker. Can he do enough damage to the SCVs right now?
Let's find out, because that tank gets a great volley on those roaches, a second great volley too, and the tank is remaining alive. There's so many SCVs here, and it doesn't matter because he's got 3 command centers. He can lose SCVs, but the tank falls down. Is he going to be able to continue this defense?
Oh man, it is 26 supply to 53 here. More reinforcing Zerglings on the way. KeeN is going to have to sacrifice this expansion, so the amount of damage he needed to do, I feel like, has been dealt. And he's following it up with more Zerglings here. Are they going to get past the command center? Oh, yes, they do. The absolute perfect timing there. That wall-in would have been completed. Would have kept KeeN in the game much longer, but down go the SCVs. And misses the micro there. Painfully bad. What happened? All the SCVs are going to get taken out right now. And that means that the SCV count is currently at 6 with only a single Marine, and GG